Show like so we don't have sick tune, we don't have music, but we have a show to do. So let's focus on it. Good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet in-house version. We're still not in the studio. Maintenance is going on. We're working on a few things. When we're done, the studio will come alive. But if you're on YouTube, then you are enjoying the show from my living room. Yes, it's the AFCON edition. We're going to be talking about a lot of the AFCON games that have gone on. Your thoughts. I mean, it's going to be more of your thought than my thought anyway. But we saw the games that went down, and I need to hear from you guys what you think of the matches that were played, the result, the players' quality. I think, in my own opinion, I think that Cote d'Ivoire started off, good, or should I use the word great? Because they're the only team in the tournament that have won so far, 2 goals to nothing. Nice, looking like it's not easy to win. And when the Super Eagles drew their game, their 3 p.m. game, Nigerian time, and we kind of like have this feeling of, oh, the players are not serious. Then Ghana played, and no, Egypt played against Mozambique. It was 2-2. They were saved by a hair's breadth, as far as I'm concerned. Little bit of concentration, and Iviero had just tried to overlook that one like they do in the Premier League. Maybe Mozambique would have won that game 2 goals to 1. And the way Amana they came back, when that game started, everybody thought, oh, once Egypt scored the first goal, you're like, oh, today they would kill everybody. But hey, it didn't turn out to be so, and it just gave a different feel anyway. It just gave a different feel that football is not always mathematics. It's not always how we think that, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Things happen differently. But hey, and then Ghana played again, and Cape Verde scored first. Cape Verde scored first against Ghana. And when you look at the Ghanaian team, uh, the first thing that crosses my mind is this is a Ghanaian team that is gradually beginning to look like a collection of stars, but they still struggle to find their rhythm. They still struggle to play the game that you want. I'm gonna look at it from this angle. Nigeria have a young team, even though they've been together in the last 8 7 8 years, but there is still infusion of new player like Alassane Yusuf, for instance. But generally, you would say, okay, this is a young team. Egypt have a very mature team. We've not seen Morocco. We've not seen a lot of teams in the tournament. We've seen only 8 teams play. 4 matches, 8 teams play so far. So there is plenty of room. There's plenty of room for different type of result. We could see a 5-0 game. We could see a 4-0 game. We could see more draws. We could see more wins. But 4 games played so far, 3 draws and 1 win in the tournament. What's your rating? What's your rating? African football, the pitches. Doesn't mean this is the first. By the time Nigeria was playing on that pitch, we're already complaining that the pitch is not good enough. I mean, Cote d'Ivoire had, I think, about 6 years. They were supposed to host the one in Cameroon. They couldn't. Cameroon has to move forward to. And then Cameroon hosted in 2021. Normally, this tournament that we're playing right now this year was supposed to be hosted last year. 2021 to 2023. That's the way it's supposed to be. So don't be surprised when next year there is another AFCON the way it is, or probably we'll have to now go every 2 years again. But they had all this time in this world to build the stadium, get the facilities. And one of the things that I always ask, why is all African stadium always looking like Olympic stadium? Must every stadium have it's too big, like it's too massive. I want to like a compact stadium where the fans are very close to the pitch. To me, when I look at that stadium, one of the things I say that if you're not up, you won't enjoy the game. Like if you feel ground level of the pitch, you won't enjoy the game because you're too far. The game is too far from you. It's even better to watch from home. Could that be the reason why stadiums are not packed full? There's a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot to unbox on the show this morning. Later tonight, I'll be on Super Sports for Monday Night Football. Those people who said because I was criticizing them, they will not do business with me. Well, the joke is on you. So, but if you're here, please do well to like the comment, like the show. Sorry, like the live stream. Drop a comment. Let's have engaging conversation. If you watch, tell me what your experience is like. Any of the games that you watch. Be my analyst. Let me just enjoy reading your own views. And then if you have questions, throw it up in the comment section. Maybe, just maybe, I might have the right answers for you, or probably not the right answers that you expect, but I'll give you my own answer, my thoughts to it. But please do well to like it, and do well to drop your comment in the comment section. That said, there is Olanari Ogbari. I know he's in Chicago. Shaitan, our Kelly side of the world. He say, "Hey, we're back." Shout out from Chicago. Yes, Adewale Saka has been consistent lately, commenting on all the posts that we're making. Thank you very much, Timothy Deimbo, one of our very own fantastic writer. Timothy, you're a graduate now, right? You're waiting for youth service, if I'm not mistaken. One of the ones that would come to Yankee, come and meet Olanari Ogbari over there to go and do his masters, or probably in the UK. I don't know where he would do his masters, but definitely one for the stars, because he's brilliant, he's talented, is one sports writer that I like to read his work. That name, Timothy Dembo. Mark that name, is one name that would be popping up everywhere you are. And we're also very, very pleased to announce that one of our own is now part of the voices of the MPFL. Yes, Emmanuel Sebastian officially have a contract to be match day commentator for the Nigerian Premier Football League for a while with Start Times. And you know that Start Time have a 5 years contract, and the feedback we're getting so far is that it's been doing well. So I feel very excited that the product from the house, from this small company, hitting waves, from Allison going to Big Brother to what's it called, Timothy Dembo writing on all platform. And we now have Emmanuel Sebastian doing what he's doing. Onakosi, one of the things I love people don't know also was that we played a part in Onakosi's joining before he went to Niger Info, and he's also part of the voices of the MPFL. And not forgetting my coming together with Emmanuel 18 back in 2010 and all that. So I feel like I'm beginning to feel like Father Abraham, like, okay, the way Alibaba is in comedy. I'm not there yet. But I'm beginning to feel like that in the sports media space. And it's exciting that people who come around me growing that fast. And think about the Happy Corner in Sporting Lagos is powered by people from this house as well. Talking about Ojo Bamiji and his crew of TSL have become the engine behind that. So I'm pretty much very, very excited. I'm happy for them. But let's come back to the African Cup of Nations. What's your take? Let me start with you, Timothy. Timothy, you are out there. He said, in my final year, boss, ends this year. Okay, good. You're close. You're close to graduating, so pretty soon you'll be a graduate. So, Timothy, what's your take? And it's not just Nigeria. It's not just the Super Eagles now. The Cote d'Ivoire versus Guinea game, Egypt versus Mozambique, Ghana versus, who did Ghana play again? Cape Verde, Ghana versus Cape Verde, and Nigeria versus Equatorial Guinea. There are three Guinea in this tournament. There's Guinea, Bissau, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, and then the Guinea Conakry. All of them are in this tournament. The only one that is not in this tournament is Guinea Fowl. But all the other Guineas are, Guinea Fowls and Guinea Pigs are the ones that are not in this tournament. All the other Guinea, they are here, or Guinea Worm. They are the ones that are not here, but the other Guineas are here. Having said that, I want to throw it out there, Timothy. I mean, you're a sports writer. I want to get your take. What's your take on the AFCON so far, the broadcast? This tournament started with the broadcast brouhaha that I got involved, and my sister Ofama, shredded me. But I think I won in that argument, because eventually Super Sports showed it. And what is beautiful about it is that everybody is showing it this time around. NT is broadcasting it, Star Times are broadcasting it, Super Sports are broadcasting it as well. It seems like he's getting more coverage than normally would. But I don't think that the stadiums are packed full yet. The opening day was full, because it's the opening day, because there is entertainment, Yemi Alade, there is Magic System, there is a lot alongside Yemi Alade, and then the football itself, and then they are the host. After that, when Nigeria played, the stadium was not packed full. I saw the Egypt Mozambique game; it wasn't also packed full. I saw the Ghana Cape Verde game. This is my own take. Ghana is next door neighbor to Cote d'Ivoire. You'd expect a lot of traveling fans of Ghana into Cote d'Ivoire to go support their team. But Ghana Cote d'Ivoire is not next door to Cape Verde. Cape Verde is a small island off the coast of Senegal. And when you look at that, I just came back from Europe last October, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the things that you, if you live in Europe, you understand movement, logistics, movement within the EU zone. It's so smooth. Like, okay, so you can go to, let's say you're in France, you want to go to Germany, but you don't want to fly. There's no problem. You can go to Gardiner or Gardelist and then buy a train ticket and you're straight. If you have a British visa, you would enter the, is it the Eurozone or what's that other train? Straight, it will take you to across the channel, you go to the UK and you cover those areas. And it's because of the Brexit. If Brexit hadn't happened, you didn't even need a British. Once you have a Schengen visa, you cover all of those areas. There is train, there is, and the flights are cheap. Take for instance, I took it. I flew to Netherlands, and then I flew again from the Netherlands to Portugal to Lisbon, and then from Lisbon I took a train to Portimao. When I was coming back, I drove. We took a bus from Portimao to Lisbon. Now from Lisbon to Paris to Orly Airport in Paris, we paid per person 50 euros. That's like 50,000 naira. And it's a 3 hours flight, Lisbon to Paris, 3 hours flight. But imagine flying from Nigeria to Cote d'Ivoire. You're spending, the cheapest ticket was 860,000. Some people even bought ticket for 1.5 million. I'm just going to bring this to the reason why the crowds are not in the stadium. If you need to spend that, then plus the fact that you would spend another huge sums of money to pay for your hotels, your feeding, logistic within the country that you are in, and then again buy tickets before you make all those calculations, you're already discouraged. You shouldn't need to spend, as a Nigerian, for instance, this tournament is going on in West Africa. There are 200 million Nigerians. Let's say you only need only 1 million Nigerians. And these are not Nigerians who just want to watch the Super Eagles, who want to have footballing experience. If you have 1 million Nigerians who are interested in going for this tournament, then you have your stadium packed full every day. You have another maybe 250,000 Ghanaians, 200 or 100,000 people from Togo or Benin Republic or Mali, let's say even 50,000 from all of these countries. If transportation within the African zone, let's even just say West Africa, is seamless like you have in Europe, all these stadiums will be packed full. As much as I want to discuss football, as much as I want to highlight, oh, this player didn't play well, the coach didn't use this tactics well, I think that these are also some of the things we need to start talking about because, again, the media have a very strong role in nation building. And if we emphasize every day, the only thing we talk about is the football, the rest, the world leaders, the leaders that we have that will elected into power or that stole ballot boxes and got into power by themselves will not even know that something is wrong. But these are the things that we need to highlight as we go. And if you think I'm wrong, you can say it in the comment section. But I just think that these are some of the things that we need to highlight because we all have a role to play. Citizens' duty. We have the duty of citizen. And as a citizen, you don't have to be in a country or in a continent to be a citizen. Anywhere you are in the world, you have a platform to make contribution like this. You never can tell who is saying it. And please, if I'm speaking at a point, don't hesitate to point it out to me that, okay, you're out of point. This is not your responsibility. I would consider it. Okay, I don't promise you that I will stop, but I'll consider it. I'll think about it. And another thing that came up from my yesterday post match, somebody made a comment, and I want to know if you guys think that way too, that yes, the team is not playing well, but you are too hard. Let me go and see that comment again if I can find it. I think it's somewhere here on my phone. Sorry, guys. I need to figure it exactly where it is on so that I don't speak out of tune. Somebody say just get your calculators. Boy, just uh okay, good. Alabi Ojo. Alabi Ojo say, yes, we're not playing our best football, but bro, you're hitting these guys too much. Okay, so guys, do you think I am being too hard on the team? I'm hitting them too much. I need to know from you guys. But let me take a few of the comments that is already available to us so that they don't pile up and I miss out on anybody's comment, that's going to be the worst. That's going to be the one that will piss everybody off. Like, okay, I take time to drop a comment and you did not even read it. So let's start with Timothy Deimbo. Deimbo says, Timothy Deimbo say, for a new stadium, I do not know why that pitch look that way, the way we they do things. Yeah. Timothy Dembo say, I'm my final. Okay, I've read that one. Timothy Dembo say, I've enjoyed the game so far at the AFCON, but what do you think can be done to make the stadiums get filled to an extent they were so empty? Yes, I agree, and I think I've made some suggestions, and I could also make some more. Oluwaseyi Adebowale, these lights are really killing my eyes anyway, but I need the light. Without the light, the show will not go on. Adebowale says, we've seen quite a number of goals so far. I think about 10 of them. Looks like we're going to have a very interesting tournament, but the attendance at the stadium is not very encouraging. I they tell you, my brother, it's very, very sad. Timothy Dembo say for Cote d'Ivoire, I think they have the metal that can trouble teams if they can come together as a team. The midfield trio of Fofana, Sangare, and Kessie, and when Hala returns, should be troubling teams. As in that Ivorian team, I worry about them. They look like they are on course to. In short, they are the ones that should be using the "Let's do it again" slogan right now. They look like they are on course to win their third African Cup of Nation. But hey, we've seen a lot of Ivorian team coming to tournament like, oh, this is it, this is the year, and they never did. But this does look like they are on course to it anyway. But let's keep our fingers crossed and see. We've still not seen Morocco play. We've still not seen Algeria play. We've not seen, I think, Mali and the rest of them. So there's still a lot of teams. Tunisia. There's still a lot of teams to be looked at before we can say, oh, okay, after this. And to be very honest, after first game, you can't even point at a team that will win it. We've seen teams lose the first game. Spain in 2010 at the World Cup lose their first game, but went on to win the World Cup. Just now, Argentina lost their first game to guess who? Saudi Arabia, but they still went on to win the tournament. The Euros, the one that Portugal won, they were next to nothing in the group stage. I think they drew all their games, or they won only one game. I can't really remember now readily, but they went on to win it. My point being that first games are not always the best yardstick to say, okay, based off on this, I can say with my chest that this team is going to win it. And somebody sent me a message and said, let me read it. Larry, that's what's just Larry is his name. He said, "My name is Larry. Edafi, I'm surprised that you're not at the AFCON. You were the last one, and you've been to a couple of AFCON that I've seen, even at the World Cup. I'm surprised that you're not there. Is it because you have always insisted leading to this tournament that the team is not going to do well? That is why you're not at the AFCON." Well, that's not why I'm not at the AFCON. I'm not going to use that as a shield. So 2023 was that year where it was bills, 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 medical bills, and medical bills, and medical bills here and there. So I got hit badly financially. So I just won. So it's a side dish to the main dish. Money is the reason why I didn't go to AFCON. I'm not going to use Super Eagles to lie. But if I looked at this team and somewhere in my heart of heart, I am convinced that they would make it to the finals, I would have found a way. When I get people like them, Johnny Gaffar and the rest of them, I would have found a way, the Maroturi, I would have found a way to go to AFCON. Worst case scenario, I will go by road, right? But in my heart of hearts, I'm not convinced. This is about the first time. People say that I'm an incurable optimist when it comes to the Super Eagles. I am not objective. I don't think straight. Super Eagles have my Momo button. That's what a lot of people say. I remember when I was in Brilla, management used to say that thing. You know, that Super Eagles get him, but when it comes to Super Eagles, you need to think straight. But somehow I used to get it right. Whether I predicted that Keshi was going to win in the Nations Cup in 2013 or 2016 when I said we're going to qualify for the World Cup with 2 games to spare, they just happened. But this time around, the basis upon which I felt we're not going to do well, and I think that the 1-1 draw, we did well. We did way better than I expected. I thought that, to be honest, before the start of the game, I was telling a few friends that they will beat us. They beat us 2 or 3-0. That's how bad I rated the Eagles, and I think I need to repent of it. But I need to see them play against Cote d'Ivoire, and again, even Cote d'Ivoire will not be a good instrument to judge because they have the value, the advantage of the host team. I'm not saying officiating will just work in their favor, but they are the host. It's their grand. They have the fans backing them. And I just think that a few things, those little margins will work in their favor. Having said that, if we come ready, come prepared, like Timothy said in one of his comments, you have Hala join that team. That this Ivorian team does look like a team you should be afraid of. Anybody who tell you, no, don't be afraid of this team, the person they lie they give you. This is a team you should worry about. The Ivorian team is good. They are a good team. But good teams get beaten. So if we come prepared, we come ready, and we buckle up properly, we still might be able to get something out of them. Having said that, Oluwaseyi Adebowale say we've seen quite a number. Okay, I think I've read that one. Timothy Demo say for Cote d'Ivoire, I think they have the. Okay, I've read that one. And then Timothy went on to say for Guinea-Bissau, they really showed some bright spark. The Rodriguez guy had a good showing, and if Mama Badi had been clinical, the host could have been shocked. Now, that's the part where I worry for Super Eagles in our last game. So hypothetically, we are not calculating that Cote d'Ivoire will beat us, then we'll beat Guinea-Bissau, and then we will not have 4 points. So that could put us probably in second position or third, waiting to be best loser to qualify from the group as best loser. And my problem with this is if we lose to Cote d'Ivoire, and hypothetically, let me play the hypothesis a bit. Hypothetically, Guinea-Bissau beats Equatorial Guinea, which I am thinking would happen. Guinea-Bissau beats Equatorial Guinea. Now, Guinea-Bissau would have 3 points. We would be on 1 point, and Equatorial Guinea will be on 1 point. Now, this is where it changes. Our last game, we go and play against Guinea-Bissau. They would see themselves as, okay, we have, even if we get just a draw, we are second in the group. But it will make a good statement if we beat these faltering Super Eagles. So they will play. I don't know how they will come into that game, but this is me thinking too far ahead because we've not played our second game. I'm already playing the third game, which is not right. But I'm just putting the cards on the table. As an analyst, you're allowed to do that. I'm putting all the cards on the table. So if that's the scenario that happens, again, like I said somewhere, before now, that Nigerians, go and buy your calculator. Calculator is going to be useful now. Thank God that almost all your smartphones have calculator. Remember where your calculator is on your app, because my brothers and my sisters, you go critical. We're gonna need all the calculators. So that's the way I see it. Oluwaseyi Adebowale say, God gives and God take. God will give us the win against Cote d'Ivoire. Let's pray. Adebowale, you know well. And for the very first time, we saw a white man using God. I thought that was an exclusive reserve of MPFL coaches. I didn't know that a Portuguese coach would ever. I didn't know that a white coach would ever use that kind of statement in a presser. But hey, that's where we find ourselves. Please, guys, do well to like it. We're back again to live streaming, and the algorithm. Sometimes it's frustrating, Sha, that the numbers are not going up. But please do well to like it and drop a lot of comments. You want this thing to happen on a regular basis. I also want the numbers to go up. To click the like doesn't really take much. Just press the button. It doesn't also take money away from your phone. It doesn't take your data, but just click the like. Let's let the like match up to the views. It does work for us. Like Timothy say, if you had 8 big chances with an XG of 2.8 and scored just one, I really don't know how to explain the mystery, but the Super Eagles didn't have a bad game and they should have easily won that game. You see, the thing about football is, so this generation is generation of stats and data and all that, which is fine. It's great. That's why, even the YouTube that we do, They are more, it's more about people's data. It's not about the quality of what you put out. So somebody else can be putting things online that corrupts people or that doesn't make sense. If their stats and their data works better than mine, the algorithm will put them up and put me down. It doesn't matter the quality of what I put out. But if my data is better than that I'm just using that. You see, the thing about football, I all this XG, of whatever that you guys calculate in football, I hate to come to the place where that will be my focus. When I look at the Super Eagles, and let's bear it down on the Super Eagles now, and somebody asked me last night, Mr. Tony asked me, say, what is wrong with the Super Eagles? And I said, the midfield is what is wrong with the Super Eagles. He said, no, it's the defense. I said, no, it's not wrong with our defense. Our defense is okay. The midfield is what is wrong with the Super Eagles. Everybody that plays the Super Eagles, maybe apart from the big team, and even in the last Nations Cup, Tunisia sat back. Everybody that plays the Super Eagles will first of all try to sit back. Because, like it or not, when there is an Osimhen, you're worried. Osimhen cannot just be alligator in one place and then become a war gecko in another place. I don't believe that. And the players that we have means that the opposition will sit back. They will sit deep a bit. Now, in such cases, you have four at the back with two fullbacks that can bump forward and still come back. So, what I expect is our midfielders to spread themselves, create a if you've ever driven in Lagos, especially that Ikeja area, you see some place where there is this yellow lines, on the road. And it's not just a Lagos thing, it's all over the world. It's in New York, it's in China, Beijing, Seoul, in Japan as well, Tokyo. Those lines on the road is a no stopping zone, no delay zone. You must keep moving, right? Our players and midfielders, that gap between defense and attack, it's a midfield, right? They need to spread themselves in such a way. We already have three midfielders. We have Alassane Yusuf, we have Alex Iwobi, and then we have Frank Onyeka. What they should have done is similar to what Pep Guardiola does. Is one of the fullback will tuck in and make them four. What they now do is they spread in two on this side, two on this side, right? Then one of the guys up front will drop to now make them five, right? What you do is you keep the ball moving in that prison shape, moving. It's a prison or octagon, a semi-octagon, moving the ball like that. What you do is you're drawing them, you're drawing the opposition because they're going to sit deep. This is off the back of my head, looking at the tactics and the strategy. You spend some time, knock the ball around. Not every time you knock the ball forward. No, the team knows that you're drawing the opposition. So Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, Ademola Lookman, depending on who's dropping. Okay, if Ademola Lookman is dropping, then Moses Simon and Victor Osimhen will now become the twin striker up front, up of the diamond, the octagon diamond. And as you're doing that, you're drawing them. Both of them are hanging on the shoulders of the last man. They will now become gap between the goalkeeper and his defense. That's where you not tread the ball. Alex Iwobi have the ability to really tread the ball. I think that's what they will do. But what our midfield lack is the ability to stay on the ball. So there is something called, my former coach, Monday Sinclair, will say, hibernate on the ball, brood on the ball. Not every time the ball is not on fire. Not every time you just get the ball, you poof. Not every time you get the ball, poof. And then people now say, but the midfielders are giving at the ball. No, you're not. You're giving at the ball, but you're not giving at the ball the right way. You're giving advantage to the opposition to stop your strikers. I don't know if you get my analysis. This is deep a bit, and regular people might not understand it, but I wish I have a board here where I could just do some demonstration, but I don't. We will get to that point eventually. So I think that's what the Super Eagles needs, very, very fast. Midfielders stay on the ball a bit. The reason why the 94 team was able to be successful was that they stay on the ball. The midfielders, they stay on the ball. You see Mokashi or Siasia or Mutu or Lise, Okocha or Ulia, they are passing the ball sideways. They are doing they're passing sideways. They are drawing the opposition. Rashidi Yakini is hanging on the last man. Before you know it, you think they want to go forward, then they pass back to Sondo Lise. He gets to Sondo Lise. Sondo Lise have this ability of, we used to call it telegraphic passes, where he plays the ball It's a disadvantage to the opposition defender, but it's a massive advantage to the striker, who is Rashidi Yakini. And once that ball gets past the head of the opposition, you will notice that, because we all know that Rashidi Yakini needs 3 chances to score one, or 2 chances to score one. He's not the kind of guy that needs 20 chances. Rashidi is 1 in 1. And that's why when I look at the number of goals that Rashidi Yakini scored, it's where I always say that I don't fancy Okocha. You can't have a Yakini and you are Okocha and you didn't create that much chances. Yakini should have a record of between 50 to 70 goals for the national team, for the kind of midfielders that he had playing with him. Because if you go back now and look at somebody like Alex Iwobi, and you say, look, he's playing with these guys who are just below average, and he's almost catching up with Rashidi Yakini already. It tells you a whole lot about the kind of support system. But what that group had was the ability to stay on the ball. They were not afraid to stay on the ball. Sometimes, we lose the ball, but staying on the ball is very, very important. Man City keeps winning because they stay on the ball way more than any person. And you see, the thing about football, if you've ever played football, you understand this thing I'm saying. If you're running around, you're not getting the ball, frustration comes in. 2 things will happen. You start playing foul, you start getting agitated, uncomfortable, because they're practically making a fool of you. They're playing the rondo on you, and you're just running. You're the fool. You're running errands that nobody sent you, and you're not getting the ball. Okay, so at that point, you now start putting what they call lazy tackle, where you just want to stop the rhythm, and so you can go tackle and hit people. I'm not saying this assuming that, all of the opposition that we're playing against are going to be foolish players and all that. But I'm just saying that when you play against a team like Equatorial Guinea, that's a tactical approach that I would use if I was a coach. Okay. But again, I'm not going to blame the coach, because we created enough chance to bury that game, maybe 5 or 4 or 3 goes to 1 or whatever it was. Okay. I agree that we'll concede goals, but if we considered 1 and we scored 5 or we scored 4, nobody would even talk about the goal that we considered. That's just the way I see it anyway. Let me go back to the comment section, and if you disagree, you're free to disagree. It's not just about me this time around. Adisha Laufoma, he said, great to hear you back. Sound is so good. Yes, we got a very, very good quality microphone. Thanks to Sam Mbono. Please, if you guys see Sam Mbono on Facebook or anywhere you see him, please give him the appreciation that he deserves. He came in and he even visited me. He came here with his girlfriend. He's traveling today. Is it today or tomorrow for his brother's burial in the village? I would have gone with him, but right now I can't afford to do that. Okay. Plus the fact that I've given my word to be on Super Sports tonight, so I'm gonna be there. So that it doesn't like, oh, he's angry with us. I'm not angry with anybody. I just know that when something doesn't sit well with me, as far as Nigeria is concerned, I will speak my mind. And if that's gonna break relationship, let it break relationship. But business people know that quality is quality. You're not going to throw quality on the gutter because somebody had an opinion about your business and the opinion seems to be right. Okay, so thanks to the guys at massive shout out to the guys at Super Sports and Chas and Azodo as well. Some people will say, "Oh no, that guy that criticizes us, it can't be on our, it can't be on our platform." But hey, that's them being good. So I give them credit for that. Sid say, intertravel within the sub-region needs to improve, not only for sports but trade and business. You can say that 1 million times over and over and over again, and you would be right. Like, normally I should be able to say, you know what, I'm jumping on a train, I'm going to Ghana to go attend a musical concert, or I want to go watch the Ghana Premier League. And I'm sure that if I leave here, let's say I go to CMSS, a train that is going to Ghana, and I leave by 8 a.m., I'll be there, buy my ticket, watch the game. Maybe Ashanti Kotoko is playing against Accra Hearts of Oaks, for instance. I watch the game for the experience, and then I spend the night. Tomorrow morning, I'm back in Lagos. So if the game is on Saturday, I go on Saturday morning, I finish. On Sunday morning, I'm back. On Monday, I'm here again to tell you guys, wow, this is what happened. Just the same way I feel we need all this train to cut across Nigeria. It is hard. Even me, sometimes I'm like, okay, so wait, if I don't want to fly, I'm going to drive 6, 8, 10 hours from here to Warri, 12 hours to Calabar or more. What's it happen? Even if the roads are good. Like, that's not what I want to experience. I want to experience the ability to, if I'm in a train First off, there should be internet. If I pay, like make it like this, first class compartment, like the train from Lagos to Ibadan, Ibadan back to Lagos. That first class compartment at the AC, Jesus, those people they are evil. The AC will freeze your blockers. Like the AC, all your kidney will freeze, which is very good. Now put Wi-Fi for me. So when I'm sitting down there, I'm using the internet and I'm having fun, browsing my way through all of those journey, doing research. If I'm going, preparing to go do anything there, it would work well for me, and it will also work well for what's it called, for business. So it means I can go to Ghana, I can go to Cote d'Ivoire, I can go to Mali, Senegal. I want to go and buy what's that thing, that's Senegalese brocade. I can just go. I don't need to be thinking, to go to Senegal I need to spend 2, 3, 4 million. I mean, it once you get to that point, you start saying, this will be the same exact money I will take Jackpa. And to be very honest, within the West African sub-region, how many people, or even sub-Saharan Africa, how many people get that kind of money for luxury? Because once the money don't reach 4 million, because sometimes if you want to travel, you travel with friends. Because group traveling for sporting events and business works better. You have somebody that you're chatting with, you have somebody that you're taking picture with, you're having fun with. The reason why Africa is not popping positively is because the inter-travel within the region is so difficult that, I mean, if it can be easy for me, like my single boy wants to go out with his girlfriend, say, let's go to Ghana, let's go and have fun. You go there, snap some picture, you post it, you stay again another 2 months or so. You say, let's go to Senegal, let's go to Cote d'Ivoire. That helps you. And because of that, so you start thinking, you know what, last time we came to this Francophone region, we had issue with the language. Let's start learning how to pick language. That's how we build international relationship, interregional relationship, and all that. But unfortunately, the leaders that we have, they're mumu, right. Now God go help us. Thank you very much, Sid, for that one. Johnny Gavase, it's like the gambling companies don't understand AFCON. I'm winning easy money on one plus game. I they tell you, if anybody put over 1.5 in AFCON, you must win. That one is set in stone. Nobody is going to even argue that one with you. Timothy, I must say, I think Lookman can be that creator that Nigeria needs. Is beginning to look like one that can shoulder that responsibility. I may be wrong. I think I agree with you. I may be wrong though, but I saw the signs in the game yesterday. There were a lot more positive, and maybe some of you will not agree with me, but there were a lot of positive in that game than negative, as usually comes with this game. So for me, I feel a lot more positive than negative from the game, because my expectation before the game was way lower than what I saw in that game. I mean, a lot of people are angry, a lot of people are pissed. I saw videos from the stadium. I can understand immediately. Like I always say, don't interview anybody immediately after a game, because it is their expectation versus their reality. They've not had time to think over it. So give them time. If they think over it, they would see that things are not as bad as they first thought, they initially thought. I thought that there was some good in that game. Unfortunately, the injury to Alassane was a very bad spot in something that is progressing. Okay, that's the bad spot in it, but I hope I will get better. Sid said the teams in Africa are leveling up in terms of talent, tactics, but more improvement. The Ivorian have a good midfield. It's stifled. If stifled, will find it difficult because they had issues with Guinea-Bissau pressing. I think after they scored that first goal, there was a little struggle, because what Guinea-Bissau did was, we don't have your talent, but we have speed, raw power. We would run 2 times more than you run. We would walk 2 times or 4 times more than you're walking. And just when it seems like they were coming into the game, I thought that in that second half, they were beginning to come into the game, and then they concede. And you know, that can just deflate you. It's like when you're trying to fight with somebody and the person punch you in your stomach, in your gut area. You're gone. Or you're fighting a twin. Have you ever fought a twin? You're fighting a twin and you're trying to throw punch on this guy like this, and one person whip you here with better plank. You're off. All the fighting, all the training, all the knowledge of fighting. I will punch. I will throw this punch. If he block, I will give him down. As he come down, I'll give him uppercut. everything disappears immediately, all bets are off. And that's exactly what happened. Once they considered that second goal, there was just no fighting them again. But I look forward to seeing better game. And that's why I'm afraid of the Guinea-Bissau thing. Like, okay, this is what they will do with Nigeria. They might go back and look at that game and say Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire are similar. Okay, quality talent here and there. We don't have the midfield of Cote d'Ivoire in any way, but so what would they do? Make sure they don't concede pretty early. Make sure they sit back, and then they will look at Nigeria's previous game and know that Nigeria does not take the chances that they create that much. We struggle with the chances. I mean, look at that empty net that Zaidu Sanusi could have just put the ball in very early in the game, and Jesus Christ, I screamed. Though. I normally don't. I'm not one of those people who watch football and do like, but in that one, I admit. He catch me unaware. Like I screamed, I was watching it. But hey, it is what it is. It has happened. We move on. Additional love must say Portugal draw all group games and won their first game in the semis without penalties. Okay. Cameroon in Nigeria Ghana 2000 lost a group game. Nigeria in 2013 also draw two games. Okay, yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's not all hope is not lost yet. All hope is not lost. Okay, look who we got here. That Tottenham fan, Sabigia, Gwen Marcos, the Tottenham girl. Okay, Tottenham drew yesterday, with Man United. They should have beaten Tottenham Hotspur. Say welcome back, boss. You were missed. Do you really miss me? You sure you miss me? Okay, Jerry Sampson says, good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Why is difficult for fans to fill the stadium apart from home team game? Because traveling is very difficult. And I must say massive shout out to my friend Peter, who is into property business, who gave us one lovely 6.5 kVA generator, brand new. Thank you very much. Without that, maybe we will still be struggling to get back in the game. So thank you very much for that one. We can't forget that one. Timothy Dembo say, in terms of defensive organization as a team, I worry. The amount of spaces that we allow is crazy, very, very crazy. And that's because there's too much gap between our midfield and our defense. And sometimes I can understand. So when you go into a game and coming from a football, let me tell you this. Footballers generally all over the world know teams that they fear and teams that they don't fear. So when you're playing against one of those teams that you don't fear, you kind of get carried away with high line is more important. So you want to let's go there and choke them and score quick. Let's get the job done in the first 15 minutes. And then when you find out that they are resisting, you still keep coming. So that creates a gap. Normally, it's supposed to be 5 meters between each department, right? But then that creates a gap. And then the defense is saying to themselves, this is the first time this goalkeeper is keeping. We're not going to go keep a high line and be in the center of the line where we don't even know if the goalkeeper is good. He doesn't even understand us. I'm not sure the goalkeeper knows the names of all the players in the team yet. So there is that, okay, let's sieve ourselves a bit. You guys go, but we'll be here. But once you lose the ball, please run back. Let's be adult. Let's be professionals. Let's be matured. And that gap. I think that in the next game, I mean, the coach, they have people who, the son of the coach is a match reader. Okay. And then it's got a whole backroom staff. Jose Pesero does not have a big CV. If Ave Renard comes to Nigeria now, and if he loses all his 3 games in the group, nobody will be angry with him. You know why? They will say these are Nigerian players that are not good. The coach is good. Jose Pesero does not have that luxury. It's a window for him to perform, to excel, whether he likes it or not. And so he must come to the party ready to perform. So for me, I'll go back and look at that game and I'll tell you. So 2 of my biggest problem with that game is Ademola Lookman was fine, but I think that sometimes the lack of understanding that we have only one striker in the midst of 3 defenders most times. And this is one of those things that I thought it was basic in football. So if we're playing three players up front, if the ball drifts to the right, the guy on the left joins the striker immediately. But most time you see Simon still hogging the line. And when the ball goes to Simon, you see Ademola Lookman still hogging the line. More like, oh, Victor Osimhen, you have the 18-yard to yourself. But you see, that just makes the job easy for the opposition to defend against Osimhen. Even if Osimhen is the all-magnificent, almighty king of Napoli and African Footballer of the Year. When you go to Napoli, it's the same 3 strikers that they play. When the ball goes to the right, sometimes Lobotka is there. What's his name? Lozano is there. you will see that Farastella have come in, drifted in past the edge of the 18-yard box a bit, because if the cross beat, and that's the reason why you see Victor doesn't stay in the center. He goes to the first pool and the last pool, depending on where the ball is moving and where Farastella is. There is an understanding there. With the Super Eagles, I don't see that understanding. I'm not beating them. I'm just sharing what I saw, and I hope that we can improve on that area and see how it goes. Okay. Um, Jerry Sampson, good morning, bros. Why is it difficult for the fans? Okay, I've told you that already. Timothy Demba say, in terms of, I think I've read that one. Adegwala Oluwa Sheun Fumi say, good morning, bro. Good morning. How was your night, bro? My fine. I want to use this to tell us about the team setup. I want to use, I don't understand, setup yesterday, good or bad, especially the midfield combination. Maybe you're saying you want me to talk about the team setup yesterday. I don't think that the setup was bad. I think that the materials available to the coach, he puts the guys that are best suitable for the game. I'm an apostle of every game comes with its own tactics. I'm not one of those who believe that every game, unless you have a superior team, unless you're Man City or you're Real Madrid, the current Real Madrid that trashed Barcelona yesterday, you should look at the opposition and then design your tactics to favor you against the opposition. We might go and play against Ivory Coast and play 3-5-2 formation. We might. Okay, it depends on what works and see how it goes. But I know that the coach will be afraid to try that, because he tried it against Guinea in the friendly. Even though they created a lot of chances, won a penalty and lost it, we lost the game 2-0. So, and coaches, fear to continue with a sort of a pseudo failed experiment. So he will be afraid. I think he will be afraid, but we'll see how it goes. I just hope that it does. But I think that the setup was good. The anchor of that midfield was Alassane. I think that Frank Onyeka was a bit too slow. This is my opinion, and I also think that Alex Iwobi was drifting in and out. So it was, yo-yo. 1 minute, he knew what he was doing. He was trying to create spaces. He was running. And then for maybe a gap of 10, 15 minutes, he would just disappear completely. You're not seeing him. He gets the ball. He's turning the possession over to the opposition. It's not in the right position. When we get the ball, you're not seeing him making those transitional runs that makes it easy for his teammate to find him. And then he links up the attack. And then again, he pops up again. And then you see, oh, he's about to do something. And then it just doesn't happen. But we'll see. We'll see the AFCON. I mean, when you're coming from one AFCON that has not gone well, the next one, there's a little bit of trepidations, and the fact that the last two qualifiers that you played and then the friendly matches that you played have also not gone well. So I'm not going to be too hard on them, but I just think that that was what was playing on their mind. Having said that, let me go on to the next one. Johnny Gavase, I couldn't believe those Pesero God quotes were real. Honestly, because I wasn't in the press conference and I've not seen the video, I still don't believe it. I'm sorry, but I've seen it too much. And I saw somebody posted it yesterday first, and I asked him, Does this thing really happen?" He's not replied me, and I'm seeing it everywhere now. So I'm thinking it's just some people playing a joke. I don't want to believe it. Johnny Gavase, even Genotro, after all those years in Nigeria, wasn't giving us God quote. So I'm really surprised. Epic IQ say, would Def like comment and also come back? Okay, would definitely like comments and also come back. Okay. Thank you very much. Please, guys, like the video, and feel like what we're doing here, share it with your friends, tell people about the channel. Let's grow it together, and it will enable us to do more. To be very, very honest, it will enable us to do more. And when we put up comments when we put up content as well that is not live, please do well to just watch, comment on it, and share. Take it as your project. That's the way I see it. Take it as your project, and try and see it grow. Sid say, your scenario is what played out in 2013. We drew first two matches and had to find a way against Ethiopia and dispatched a super Ivorian team. This team is not very tactically astute, but let's see. You see, the thing about that 2013 team, and If you remember, if you follow me in Brilla, I mean, that's the first time I was threatened with a sack because before the tournament, I told everybody that this team is going to win the tournament, and I kept insisting. And you know that sometimes I could be very, very overbearing. And when I'm passionate about something, I could be overbearing. I could lord it on you. I could be very daring. Like, okay, more like, you know how they say people are poor, people are average, middle class, people have money, people are rich, and then people have fuck you money, right? I have fuck you audacity. Yes, I have that. You know what? If I'm convinced about something in my heart, and most times I understand football fans. Truth. So don't think I don't understand. I understand people. It is ridiculous for somebody to go before a tournament and say, oh, this team will not win, or this team will win, or this team will not qualify, or this one will end in seventh. It's ridiculous. But you see, when you do the job that I do, first, you need to create a niche for yourself. You want to be different from every other person. People say it's not competition. Yes, but me, I see life as a competition. I'm competing with myself, I agree. But then there are other people. There is Stephen A. Smith in ESPN. There is Shannon Shea, also ESPN, and doing his own thing. There is a whole lot of people. I'm not even bothered about the Sky Sports people. And when I say that, this is not me disrespecting them, but I I kind of like don't think that they're better than me. So I'm not bothered about them like that. But so I always ask myself every single day, or when I do self-appraisal, like, Edafe, what would people remember you for? What would, if you fall down and die today, I mean, tomorrow it is announced that you are dead and gone. What will people remember you for this thing that you've given your life to? Because some people will not even remember whether you helped Nigeria win bronze medal at the Olympics in 2016. Some people still think it's a myth. People will not remember that you are behind the scene working for the league to grow. Some people think you are just overhyping yourself. But on this job that everybody see and hear every day, you're either going to be the very top or you're just going to be among the rest. And I hate being among the rest. So sometimes when I do those things that I do, I get it that it pisses people off. So when I did that and everybody was writing my former chairman that this boy would destroy your brand, would destroy your radio, a dead team, like this, that team was terrible. But when you go back and look at that team and compare it to this team, you will now understand that that team was world class. Okay, because we have men that could stand up and be counted. Unfortunately, we don't have that here. And then you go back to that squad again, it tells you again a story of what I've been saying. People would always look at Osimhen, that Osimhen is wasting chances. The fact is, Osimhen plays better with one more striker next to him. Look at all the games he's played for Nigeria. The games where he scored lots of goals are the games where he's got either Terry Murphy next to him, or he's got Onwachu on this other guy, Siri Desas next to him, or maybe Taiwa Oni or Kelechi Anacho, because that makes the job easy. And anybody who's a striker will tell you that. Okay, but hey, we don't have all the time in this one. 7 more minutes to go. Remember, I'm going to be on Silverbed by 10 o'clock, so I'll need to close before then. Okay. Epic. Okay, say I've read that one. Young but thank God. Hey, my guy, don't travel, leave us. So he said to me, I would just watch it as it goes, but with full emotional. Nah, I will not do that. Although actually, Adebowale says the first 10 minutes had me excited yesterday. We were very energetic, and Iwobi was getting on the ball well and creating chances, but they just dropped the intensity and it all went flat. Yes, you are right. And then what I say, it could have been a different game if Zaidu scored that early chance, though. I agree with you. I thought as much as well. And then Timothy then but say we have more central midfielders who are good at moving the ball rather than winning the ball. I still don't know how we can't let our build up phase align though the middle rather than trying through the middle, through the middle rather than trying to go long. That long ball that we are playing, I'm always wondering why. Who tell us more they play long ball? Like I always wonder why, Sha. Oluwaseun Oladele says, on the contrary, I think our midfielders should move the ball faster. Osimhen wants the ball faster. Oluwaseyi Adebowale says, I've seen the video. Pesero did say that. Now, let me explain to you, Oladele. No team can play football fast the way you think for 90 minutes. There's no team, especially in a tropical region where the weather is hot. It not go fit to work. So reality is, there is something in music called the metronome. The metronome is what, when you hear 16 beat, 32 beat, and the rest of them, what controls the tempo, the octave, how the music goes, right? And it's like the leader of the orchestra, that guy that one, my wife studied music, and I was asking my wife the other day that, so this thing where this guy they do, so now they make violin, trombone, trumpet, everything they go together. And she said yes, because that's the guy that controls everybody. So what you do is you need a person or a group of people who have been told this is what we want. At this phase of the game, up the tempo. At this phase of the game, bring it down. Like bring it really down. Because a frustrated opposition is a team that will make many mistakes. That is football. It's Why do you think that Man City will not push the tempo of the game at fast? You think that they don't have running players that can do counter-attacking football? They have some of the fastest players in the Premier League. But it's not sustainable. They will burn out, and then the opposition will catch up with them. So what you do is you sustain a run, a move that will give you pace, maybe 15 minutes, and then give you breather another 15 minutes, and then you take it up again, and then you mix it up again so that the opposition is confused. That's something that if you master and you know how to use it, it kills the opposition. Why do you think that Messi walks? Sometimes walking, slowing down the tempo of the game, give you ability to see the weak area. The other day I was watching CBS Sports, and Thierry Henry said one thing. Thierry Henry is Michael Richards' idol. Like he idolizes and worships him. And they were talking about the Arsenal Man City game. And Michael Richards asked him, why did you leave the left side that you normally stay and come to this side? And Thierry Henry said, I am trained to be a predictor. Before the game, I look at the eyes of the opposition players, the defenders, and I sense the weakest one. Once I know that, that's where I go, because that's where I will find joy easily. And that's exactly what Thierry Henry did. Instead of being on this side, he went to the other side and he found joy against him. So the thing is, psychologically, you must frustrate your opposition. I don't care what is football. What is when I say tactics? This thing that people call tactics. Tactics is stop your opposition from playing and impose your style of play. Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, that's what they do. So we must get to that point where we see football like that. Having said that, there's no more time again. So Oluwaseyi Adebowale says, I've seen the video. Pesero did say that. My God. That man became more Nigerian than Nigerian. So Young Betango, they say, nice one, boss. Thank you very much. Akimbola Larry say, what's your take on the Ghana and Cape Verde game? I think it was a bit balanced. I expected more from Ghana. I think that Ghana have a good generation of players that should be able to take Cape Verde on. But again, the minnows in African football are no longer as minnows as we think. They have upped the game a bit. So it's frustrating because, again, the younger players also want to go to Europe. These players also want to go to Europe. And they do everything they can to make it happen. And then, this is my last one. I'm signing out now. In football, Jorginho is an example of a metronome. God bless you. A metronome. We don't have him. Rodri in Man City is a metronome. Busquets type player. The person close to that on the Nigerian team is Onyedika. I have watched him play. Now, thank God somebody understand what I'm saying. He's a dictator of the pace. Once the ball gets to him, Sunday Olise was that guy back in the day. Once the ball gets to him, the tempo of the game changes. And the funny thing is, the opposition doesn't even crowd him. So it's like in the NFL, they call him the quarterback. It's like the quarterback. Once he gets the ball, you know something is about to happen. One, Finidi is on a bike, even though it's a slow bike. If it is Tijani is on his bike already. Amunike is on his bike. Whoever is in their position on their bike. Amokashi is backing up on the opposition like a Drogba, and Rashidi Akini is standing there like, you know what, guy, fair ball, put the ball there, no problem. This one, they're not rich. You know, you need those kind of players to make your game. Guys, It is 10 o'clock. I need to run. I have a silver bed appointment. Thank you very much for being on the show. Try as much as possible to continuously do this one and get everybody talking. Thank you very much. I hope I read every message that you sent in, and thank you very much for liking it, liking it live. And we'll be dropping more content. Please do well to view, watch, comment, and share. If you've not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe. My name is Edafe Matthew Sogene. You'll have to come in the Elevator One Sports. Has been the Sports Buffet this lovely morning on the Elevator TV Sports YouTube channel. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day. And I wish the host, Cote d'Ivoire, a successful host. I'm not expecting them to beat us, but I want the tournament to be fine. My friends, people that I know and love and care about are in Cote d'Ivoire. So I want the tournament to go successfully and peaceful. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Be the very, very, very best version of who God created you to be, and have a wonderful and impactful day. Bye bye.